I died at 8:47 p.m. on a Tuesday night in front of 200 people. Not literally. But the woman I was the woman who believed in love, in marriage vows, in the sanctity of 23 years together. She flatlined right there on the polished marble floor of the Cosmopolitan Hotel ballroom. Let me take you back to that exact moment. I'm standing near the champagne fountain wearing a plain black dress Marcus picked out for me that morning.
Not asked me to wear.
Picked out. Laid it on the bed like a uniform. Wear this tonight, LaToya. Nothing flashy. You know how these corporate events are. I should have known something was wrong. In 23 years of marriage, Marcus had never once cared what I wore. The gala is for his marketing firm, Dawson and Associates. His name on the building. His face on the billboards lining the FDR Drive. I'd been to a dozen of these things over the years, always standing slightly behind him, smiling at his colleagues, playing the supportive wife. But tonight feels different. Marcus hasn't looked at me once since we arrived. He's across the room laughing with the executives, and beside him is her. Jasmine. I know her name because I found the hotel receipts 3 months ago. The text messages. The late-night client meetings that smelled like Chanel No. 5 when he came home. She's younger. Of course she is. 29 to my 52. She's wearing a red dress that probably cost more than my monthly grocery budget, her hair swept up in some elegant twist I could never pull off. And she's touching his arm. Laughing at something he said. Leaning into him the way I used to back when he still looked at me like I mattered. I'm gripping my wine glass so hard, I'm surprised it doesn't shatter. Then Roger Pemberton, Senior VP, Gray Temple's expensive suit, walks up to me with that corporate smile plastered on his face. "Excuse me, miss," he says, looking me up and down. "I don't believe we've met. Are you with the catering staff?" The words hit me like a slap. Before I can answer, Marcus materializes beside us. His hand lands on Roger's shoulder, all casual confidence. "Oh, Roger," Marcus says, and I hear it, that tone. That slight dismissiveness that makes my stomach drop. "Don't worry about her." Her. Not my wife. Not LaToya. Her. "She's just the maid," Marcus continues, his voice carrying across the nearby conversations. People are turning now. Watching. My house help. "She keeps things clean. You know how it is." The room doesn't go silent. That only happens in movies. But there's a shift, a ripple of discomfort that spreads through the crowd like a cold wind. Roger's face goes red. I'm sorry. I didn't realize you brought." "It's fine." Marcus cuts him off smoothly, then turns, extending his hand toward Jasmine. She glides over like she's walking on air, that red dress catching every light in the room. Marcus wraps his arm around her waist. My waist. That's where his arm used to go. "Roger," Marcus says, his voice warm, now proud, "I'd like you to meet my wife." Time stops. The words don't make sense at first. My brain can't process them. "This is Jasmine," Marcus continues, pulling her closer. "My real wife. The woman who actually understands what it takes to be married to someone like me." Jasmine smiles, this small, triumphant smile, and extends her hand to Roger. "So lovely to meet you," she says, her voice honey sweet. Marcus has told me so much about the firm. I'm still standing there, 3 feet away, holding my wine glass. Someone's phone camera flashes. Then another. A woman behind me whispers to her husband, "Jesus Christ, what kind of man brings both women to the same party?" Her husband whispers back, the kind who doesn't give a damn anymore. Marcus hasn't looked at me once. Not once.
Roger clears his throat, clearly desperate to escape this nightmare.
"Well, congratulations on the, Excuse me." He practically runs. More people are staring now. I can feel their eyes on me, some pitying, some curious, some just hungry for drama. They can talk about over brunch tomorrow. Marcus finally turns to me. Our eyes meet for the first time all evening. "Latoya," he says, his voice flat. "Empty. You can go home now. Take an Uber. I'll be late." That's when something inside me cracks. Not breaks. That's too clean, too simple. Cracks. Like ice on a frozen lake when the temperature shifts.
Like the moment before everything underneath comes flooding through.
I look at him, really look at him. At this man I gave 23 years to. This man I put through business school while working double shifts at Mount Sinai. This man whose mother I cared for during her final year when he was too busy building his career. This man whose success was built on my sacrifices, my support, my endless, invisible labor. This man who just erased me in front of 200 people. I set my wine glass down on the nearest table. My hand is steady now. "Okay," I say quietly. Just that one word. Marcus blinks, surprised. I think he expected tears, rage, some kind of scene he could use later to paint me as the crazy, jealous wife. But I don't give him that. I turn and walk toward the exit, my footsteps silent on the marble floor. Behind me, the party resumes. Conversations restart. Someone laughs. I push through the gold-trimmed doors and step out into the cool October night. The street is alive with yellow cabs and honking horns and the smell of roasted nuts from the vendor on the corner. I stand there for a moment, breathing in the city air. And that's when I feel it.
Something new rising up from where the old Latoya died.
Something cold. Something patient. Something that understands revenge isn't a dish served hot. It's served calculated, deliberate, and absolutely devastating. I pull out my phone and make a call. "Angela," I say when my sister answers, "I need you to connect me with that lawyer friend of yours. The one who handles high-profile divorces." "Latoya, what's wrong? Are you okay?" I look back at the hotel at the golden light spilling from the ballroom windows. "I'm perfect," I say. And for the first time in months, I mean it. Because Marcus just made the biggest mistake of his life.
He forgot that the maid knows where all the bodies are buried.
The call to Angela ends and I'm standing alone on Madison Avenue, the city buzzing around me like it always does, indifferent, relentless, alive. And suddenly, I'm 29 again. Brooklyn, 1992.
The L train platform on a sweltering August afternoon.
I can still smell it, that particular mix of hot metal, someone's coconut oil, and the halal cart on the corner. I'm in my scrubs coming off a 12-hour shift at the hospital, my feet screaming in those white orthopedic shoes. And there he is, Marcus Dawson. 27 years old, wearing a shirt he probably ironed himself, carrying a portfolio under his arm, pacing the platform like he's rehearsing something in his head. He drops his Metro card. It skitters toward the edge. I pick it up. Our eyes meet, and he smiles, this genuine, slightly embarrassed smile that makes him look younger than he is. "Thank you," he says. "I'm a mess today. Big interview." "What kind of interview?" I ask, and just like that, we're talking. The train comes and goes. We miss it. Then, the next one. By the third train, he's told me his whole story. Grew up in the Bronx, single mom who cleaned offices at night, graduated City College on a partial scholarship, dreams of starting his own marketing firm someday. Someday soon, he says, and there's this fire in his eyes. This hunger. When we finally get on the train, I pay for both our rides. His card's empty. "I'll pay you back," he promises. "Don't worry about it," I say. He never did pay me back for that ride. Looking back now, maybe that should have been a sign. But love doesn't work that way, does it? We got married 2 years later at City Hall. Just us. My sister Angela and his mother Miss Dorothy, who wore her church hat and cried through the whole 5-minute ceremony. "You take care of my boy," she whispered to me afterward, gripping my hands. I did. God, I did. When Marcus got accepted to NYU's business program, we celebrated with dollar slices and cheap wine on our fire escape. Then reality hit $35,000 a year in tuition alone. "I'll defer," he said.
Work for a few years, save up.
"No," I told him. "You'll go. I'll handle it." And I did. I picked up a second job, night shifts, at a nursing home in Queens, while keeping my day position at Mount Sinai. Monday through Friday, I'd work 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the hospital, grab a slice and a coffee, then catch the E-train to Queens for the 5 p.m. to midnight shift. Weekends, I worked doubles. I'd get home around 1 a.m., sleep 4 hours, and do it all again. Marcus would be at the kitchen table when I came in, surrounded by textbooks and spreadsheets, and he'd look up with this grateful, guilty expression. "Baby, you don't have to do this," he'd say. "Yes, I do," I'd tell him. "Because when you make it, we both make it." Right, he'd promise. "You and me. Always." I'd pack his lunch every morning, turkey sandwiches and those Chips Ahoy cookies he loved. Stupid little ritual that made me feel like I was part of his dream. When his mother got sick, breast cancer stage 3, Marcus was in his final semester. Couldn't miss classes. Couldn't risk his GPA. "I'll handle it," I said again. Miss Dorothy moved into our 1-bedroom in bed Stewie. I gave her our bedroom, slept on the couch, drove her to chemo appointments at downstate, held her hand while she vomited, cleaned up after, made her ginger tea the way she liked it, paid the medical bills the insurance wouldn't cover. Another $15,000 on credit cards I'm probably still paying off. She died 3 weeks after Marcus graduated. At the funeral, he held me and whispered, "I couldn't have done any of this without you. You're my foundation, my rock." "You know that, right?" I believed him. God, I believed him. The years after that, they should have been good years. Marcus landed a job at a mid-size firm, started climbing. We moved to a better apartment in Fort Greene. Started talking about kids. But something was shifting. Small things at first. He stopped eating the lunches I packed. "We go out now, babe." Client meetings. He started coming home later. Networking. You understand. His phone started buzzing at dinner. He'd glance at it, smile slightly, then flip it face down. "Work?" I'd ask. "Always," he'd say. When he finally opened Dawson and Associates 5 years ago, I threw him a surprise party. Invited everyone. Made his favorite, my grandmother's mac and cheese collard greens peach cobbler. He showed up 2 hours late, distracted, barely touched the food. "Sorry, babe," he said. Big day. Everyone pretended not to notice. I wasn't perfect. I know that. I gained weight, 20 pounds, then 30. Stopped doing my hair the way I used to. Wore scrubs even on my days off because they were comfortable and I was tired. So tired. But I was loyal. I carried our marriage on my back until my spine bent. I carried it through his 12-hour days, his forgotten anniversaries, his growing coldness. I carried it until that night at the Cosmopolitan Hotel when he finally put it down and walked away. If you've ever given everything to someone who later turned away, you'll understand this part. Standing here on Madison Avenue, the October wind cutting through my plain black dress, I can feel every year of it. Every sacrifice. Every broken promise. Every moment I chose him over myself. And you know what the worst part is? Some small, pathetic part of me still wants to believe it meant something. That somewhere in that ballroom the man I married still exists. But he doesn't. That man died years ago. I just didn't notice. I'm back in the present. The memory fades, but the cold doesn't. I turn around, suddenly needing to see it again to confirm it's real. Through the hotel's glass doors, I can still see the ballroom. The golden light, the silhouettes moving like shadow puppets. And then I see them, Marcus and Jasmine standing by the bar, his hand on the small of her back, that exact spot where his thumb used to trace circles when we'd stand in line at the movies, at gallery openings, at our friends' weddings. Our gesture, our private language, now hers. She leans into him, rises on her toes, whispers something in his ear. He smiles, not the polite smile he gives clients, but the real one. The one I haven't seen in 5 years. She's laughing now, her hand on his chest, and I can read her lips through the glass. You promised you'd divorce the maid next week. The maid. Not even my name. Just a function, a service, something you hire and fire. Marcus nods, pulls her closer, kisses her forehead, the way he used to kiss mine every Sunday morning before church. My phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number.
Someone at the gala must have gotten my contact from the company directory.
I'm sorry you had to find out this way. For what it's worth, everyone here thinks he's an asshole. Karen from accounting find out this way. My fingers are shaking so hard, I almost dropped the phone. Another text comes through. Different number.
They've been coming to company events together for 6 months.
We all thought you knew. I'm so sorry. Dave HR, 6 months. 6 months. While I was packing his lunches, doing his dry cleaning, asking him how his day went, I look back through the glass. Marcus is introducing Jasmine to someone else now. Another executive. Another handshake. Another smile. He's working the room with her the way he used to work it with me back when I was still useful.
Still worth acknowledging.
My legs are moving before I realize it. Back through those gold-trimmed doors. Back into the ballroom. I don't know what I'm doing. I just know I can't leave yet. Can't let it end like this, with me slinking away into the night like I'm the one who did something wrong. I make it halfway across the floor when I hear it. God, this is so awkward. Like, who does that female voice? Coming from a cluster of women near the dessert table. I slow down. They don't see me yet. Bringing both of them to the same event, that's psychotic. I heard she's been the side piece for like 2 years. No, wait, I heard she's the wife and the other one, the older one, is the mistress who won't let go. Poor Marcus. Dealing with a stalker ex. My heart stops. They're rewriting the story. Right here, right now. Turning me into the villain. The crazy woman. The one who won't accept it's over. I should walk away. I should leave. I should honestly... Did you see what she was wearing, that sad little black dress, girl? If you're going to crash your ex's party, at least put in effort. They laugh. All of them. My vision blurs. The chandelier above fractures into 1,000 tiny lights. I turn and head for the restroom, the fancy one near the lobby, the one with the marble counters and those plush chairs that cost more than my monthly salary. I lock myself in a stall and finally let myself feel it. Not cry. Not yet. Just feel it. The humiliation sitting in my chest like a stone. I look down at my hands. They're shaking. The ring Marcus gave me 21 years ago catches the fluorescent light thin gold band. Tiny diamond. We couldn't afford more at the time. It's not about the size, he'd said, sliding it on my finger in that city hall corridor. It's about forever. Forever lasted until someone younger came along. I hear the bathroom door open. Heels clicking on tile. 2 women talking in that performative whisper that's meant to be overheard. Did you see her face when he said it, when he called her the maid girl I almost died? That was brutal. I mean, what did she expect? She really thought she could keep him looking like that. Marcus is going places. He needs a wife who looks the part. Not someone who looks like she shops at Goodwill. They're right outside my stall. I hold my breath. Poor thing, one of them says, and I can hear the smile in her voice. She doesn't even know she's been replaced. The other one laughs. Oh, she knows now. Their footsteps fade. The door swings shut. I'm alone again. And something inside me, something I didn't know was still alive, begins to wake up. Not hope. Hope died back in that ballroom. This is something colder, something patient.
Something that understands exactly what needs to happen next.
If you've ever trusted someone so deeply that their betrayal made you question your own worth, you're not alone. I straighten up,
Smooth down my cheap black dress.
wipe my eyes carefully so my mascara doesn't run. Thank you to everyone who helps me tell these stories.
Your support keeps this space alive for those who still believe that truth somehow will always find its way.
I unlock the stall and step out. The woman in the mirror looks different than she did an hour ago. Older, harder, done. I take off the ring Marcus gave me and drop it in the trash can beside the sink. It makes a small, satisfying sound when it hits the bottom. Then I walk out of that bathroom with my head high past the ballroom where my husband is building his new life and out into the October night. But this time, I'm not running away. I'm going to war. The subway ride home is 43 minutes long. I count every single one. The N train rattles through the tunnel, fluorescent lights flickering overhead, and I'm surrounded by people, couples holding hands, teenagers, laughing too loud, a man in scrubs like I used to wear sleeping with his head against the window. All of them living lives that make sense. I get off at Fort Greene, climb the stairs. The October air has teeth now sharp and bitter. My phone stays silent in my purse. No calls. No texts. Marcus isn't coming home tonight. Maybe he never was. Our building looks different somehow. Same brownstone we moved into 7 years ago. Same steps I swept every Saturday morning. Same door I painted robin's egg blue because Marcus said it reminded him of his mother's favorite dress. But tonight it feels like a stranger's house. I unlock the door 2 deadbolts the way Marcus always insisted and step inside. The silence hits me like a wall. Not the comfortable quiet of a weekday evening. Not the peaceful stillness of a home waiting for life to fill it. This is different. This is the silence of something ending. I flip the light switch. Nothing happens. The bulb must have burned out. Marcus usually changes them, used to change them, but I haven't seen him stand on a stepladder in months. I leave it dark.
Make my way to the bedroom by memory.
Past the couch we picked out together at Bob's Discount Furniture. Past the bookshelf filled with his business books and my nursing journals. Past the framed photo from our 10th anniversary, Big Sur, California. I saved for 8 months to afford that trip. We looked happy in that photo. Maybe we were. Maybe I just wanted to believe we were. I sit on the edge of our bed, my bed now, I guess, and the springs creak in the darkness. The room smells like his cologne. Tom Ford, $80 a bottle. I bought it for him last Christmas because he mentioned it once casually months before. I wonder if Jasmine likes the way it smells. My phone is still in my purse. I pull it out the screen, too bright in the dark room. 47 unread messages. I scroll through them, my thumb moving automatically. Karen from accounting, call me if you need anything. My sister Angela, WHEREAREY, you call me NOW. A number I don't recognize, you should have seen it coming. Everyone else did. Another unknown, Marcus deserves better anyway. I keep scrolling until I reach my photos. Thousands of them. Years of them. There we are at Coney Island eating Nathan's hot dogs. His arm around me, both of us squinting in the sun. There's Christmas 2019. Him opening the watch I couldn't afford, kissing my cheek, promising to wear it every day. He stopped wearing it last spring. Our anniversary dinner at that Italian place in Carroll Gardens. The one where he proposed a second time drunk on Chianti, saying he'd marry me all over again if he could. That was 3 years ago. When did it stop being true? I scroll back further. His business school, graduation. Me in that purple dress, so proud I thought I'd burst. Him holding his diploma, pointing at me in the crowd, mouthing, "That's my wife." His mother's funeral. Both of us in black. His face buried in my shoulder. Me holding him while he sobbed, promising him we'd get through it together. We did get through it. But somewhere along the way, we became me. And then me became invisible. I whisper it into the darkness, testing how the words sound out loud. "I gave you everything." My voice cracks. "And you made me invisible." No yelling. No screaming. No throwing his clothes out the window like they do in movies. Just this. This quiet, devastating truth settling into my bones like winter cold. If you've ever sat in a room so quiet it started to echo your thoughts, you'll understand this silence. The apartment doesn't respond. The walls don't care.
The furniture I dusted and the floors I mopped and the life I built here, none of it matters.
Thank you to those who help keep these stories alive. Your kindness helps give voice to people who've been forgotten, who sit alone in their pain, waiting to be seen again. I lie back on the bed, still in my cheap black dress, still in my shoes. The ceiling has a crack I never noticed before, long and thin, running from the light fixture toward the window. How long has it been there? Weeks? Months? Years? How much else have I missed? While I was busy holding everything together, my phone buzzes. I look at it, hoping, still hoping, God help me, that it's Marcus. That he's calling to say it was all a mistake. A cruel joke. A test I somehow passed. But it's Angela again. "Latoya, I'm coming over." I don't respond. I just lie there in the dark, watching that crack in the ceiling and think about how easy it is to miss the moment something breaks. You don't hear it. You don't see it. You just wake up one day and realize the damage has been there all along. Outside, a siren wails. A dog barks. The city keeps moving because that's what New York does. It doesn't stop for your pain. And somewhere across town, Marcus is probably pouring Jasmine another glass of champagne, celebrating while I'm here, alone, counting cracks. But here's what he doesn't know yet. I'm not broken. I'm just done being kind.
The notification comes at 2:47 a.m.
I'm still awake, still lying in the dark, when my phone buzzes on the nightstand. C-A-L-N. My address. Our address. I sit up so fast the room spins. I haven't applied for any loan. Haven't even thought about refinancing.
We paid off the mortgage 3 years ago, money I inherited when my mother passed money. I put into this place so we'd have something secure.
My hands are shaking as I open my banking app, navigate to the mortgage account. And there it is. A loan application, filed yesterday, for $250,000 against the property. My signature at the bottom. Except it's not my signature. It's close. But the loop on the L is wrong. The tail on the I too short. Someone forged it. I know who. By 4 a.m., I'm at the kitchen table with every document we own spread out in front of me. Tax returns. Insurance policies. The deed to the apartment. And they're buried in a folder labeled Household Management, a stack of papers I've never seen before. Employment contracts. Live-in household worker agreement. Employee Latoya Bennett, employer Marcus Dawson, position domestic assistant, compensation room, and board. The signature at the bottom looks like mine. But I never signed this. I flip through the pages, my breath coming faster. There are dozens of them. Payroll forms listing me as his employee. Tax documents. A letter to his accountant explaining that he provides housing for his longtime housekeeper as part of her compensation package. He's been building a paper trail, making it official, making me legally, financially, socially his maid, not his wife, his employee. My laptop is still open from last night. I log into our phone account, the family plan I've been paying for since 2015. I pull up Marcus's call history, and I count. Jasmine's number appears 97 times in the past week alone. Calls ranging from 2 minutes to 2 hours, mostly late at night. After he told me he was working late. After he said he was tired and went to bed early. I scroll back further. 6 months. A year. 2 years. The calls go back 2 years. 2 years of I love you while he was building a life with someone else. 2 years of you're my rock while he was systematically erasing me from his legal existence. I hear his key in the lock just as the sun starts to rise. He comes in quietly, probably thinking I'm still asleep. I'm not. I'm sitting at the kitchen table surrounded by evidence of my own erasure, and when he sees me, he stops. Latoya. His voice is careful. What are you doing up reading? I keep my voice steady, calm, learning things. He sets his keys down. It's early. Come back to bed. Whose bed, Marcus? I look up at him. The one I sleep in, or the one you bought for the penthouse on West 67? His face goes pale. That's right. I stand up slowly. I know about the penthouse. The one you're planning to move into once you get Latoya out. That's what you said on the phone last night, isn't it? Silence. You weren't replacing me, I say quietly. You were erasing me. The words hang in the air between us like smoke. Making me your employee. Forging my signature. Rewriting our entire history so I'm not your wife, just the help who wouldn't leave. Marcus opens his mouth, closes it. For the first time in 23 years, he has nothing to say. If you've ever found truth in the quiet moments after pain, you know what this part feels like. Thank you to everyone who supports these stories. Your kindness keeps hope alive for people still finding their voice after betrayal. I pick up my phone. I called a lawyer 3 hours ago, I tell him. A really good one. The kind who specializes in financial fraud. Latoya, get out of my house, Marcus. He doesn't move. I said, get out. This time, my voice doesn't shake. This time, I mean it. And this time, finally, he hears me. Marcus leaves. Not immediately. He stands in the kitchen doorway for another 3 minutes trying to find words that might work. Apologies. Excuses. Justifications. But I'm done listening. When the door finally closes behind him, the apartment feels different. Lighter.
Like something toxic has been vented out.
I sit back down at the table.
Look at the evidence spread before me like tarot cards revealing a future I'm finally ready to see.
There comes a point when silence stops meaning defeat. It becomes preparation. I don't sleep that day. I work. First, I photograph everything. Every forged signature. Every fraudulent document. Every employment contract that reduces 23 years of marriage to a domestic service arrangement. My phone camera shutter clicks in the quiet apartment, a metronome marking time and a new rhythm. Then I access our bank accounts. Joint checking $47 0. Joint savings $125 0. I transfer 75% to a new account I opened at Citibank 3 hours ago. An account with only my name, my social security number, my authority. Marcus's car leased the BMW. He insisted on the one that costs $890 a month. Auto pays from the joint checking. I cancel the auto pay. Let him figure it out. The American Express card he uses for his business lunches with Jasmine I call and report it lost. Request a new one sent to my sister's address. Each keystroke is a knife cut through chains I didn't know I was wearing. By noon, I'm in a lawyer's office in Midtown. 53 AD and Lex. 18th floor. The kind of place with glass walls and abstract art that costs more than my car. Diane Morales doesn't look like what I expected. She's 50-ish Dominican, wearing a navy suit and no-nonsense expression that reminds me of the charge nurses I used to work with. She listens to my story without interrupting, takes notes in precise handwriting. When I finish, she leans back in her chair. "Do you want a divorce?" she asks. I think about it. Really think about it. "No," I say finally. "Not yet. I want justice. And I want the truth to be public." Diane's mouth curves into something that might be a smile. "Then let's talk strategy." We talk for 2 hours. Here's what I learn. I'm still legally his wife. The employment contracts are fraudulent. They don't override a marriage certificate. In New York, I own 50% of all marital assets acquired during the marriage. The apartment's 60% mine. I paid off the mortgage with my inheritance. His company, Dawson and Associates, has a strict ethics code. Board members can be removed for moral turpitude, fraud, or conduct that damages the company's reputation. And the gala where he publicly humiliated me and presented another woman as his wife, that was attended by at least 3 board members. We document everything Diane says, build an airtight case. Then we strike when he least expects it. How long, I ask? 2 weeks. Maybe 3. Can you be patient for years? I mistook generosity for love. Now I'm learning the quiet math of self-respect. I've been patient for 23 years, I tell her. I can wait a little longer. The private investigator costs $200 an hour. His name is Stephen Chen. Former NYPD, runs a small firm in Chinatown. I hire him that afternoon. Within 48 hours, he has photographs Marcus and Jasmine entering the penthouse on West 67. Lease in his name only started 6 months ago, $8.500 a month. Marcus and Jasmine at per se. Dinner for $1,247. Paid with our joint Amex. Marcus and Jasmine in Tiffany's. Security footage shows him buying a ring. 3 carats. $47. 0. I look at the photos spread across my kitchen table and feel nothing. Not anger. Not pain. Just clarity. My phone starts ringing on day 3. Marcus. Then Jasmine. Then Marcus again. The joint checking is running low. The BMW dealership is calling about the missed payment. His Amex got declined at lunch. I don't answer. I sit at my kitchen table, drinking coffee that's finally the right temperature, watching my phone light up with increasingly desperate calls. It's funny how silence can sound like thunder when guilt starts to echo. On day 5, I send an anonymous email to Dawson and Associates HR department. Subject line: ethics violation, senior leadership. Attached photos of Marcus and Jasmine. Copies of the fraudulent employment contracts. Audio from the gala. Karen from accounting recorded it and sent it to me, bless her. I don't sign it. Don't need to. Truth doesn't need a signature. On day 7, Diane calls. The board wants to meet with you, she says. Privately. Next Tuesday. They're conducting an internal investigation. What do I need to bring? Just yourself. And the truth. I hang up and look around my apartment. They taught me that love meant giving. Today I'm teaching myself that love can also mean stopping. The morning light comes through the kitchen window, catching dust motes in its beam. Outside, Brooklyn is waking up, garbage trucks rumbling, someone's radio playing salsa, life continuing in its relentless, beautiful way. For the first time in months, I feel something close to hope. Not the naive hope I had before. Not the hope that things would go back to normal. This is different. This is the hope that comes from knowing exactly who you are and exactly what you're going to do about it. My phone buzzes.
Text from Diane, board meeting confirmed. Tuesday, 2 p.m.
They're bringing counsel. This is bigger than we thought. Are you ready? I type back one word, yes. For the first time, I didn't need them to hear me. My silence had already spoken. But now it was time to roar.
Tuesday arrives like a reckoning.
I stand in front of my closet at 11 a.m. looking at the dress I bought 3 months ago. The one Marcus saw on our bed and said, "That's too much. Return it." I never did. It's emerald green, fitted, elegant. The kind of dress that says, "I know exactly who I am." I put it on. Do my hair the way I used to before I stopped caring, before I became invisible. Look in the mirror and see someone I almost forgot existed. The board meeting is at Dawson and Associates. 2nd floor. The same building where Marcus built his empire on my back. I arrive at 1:45 p.m., 15 minutes early. Diane meets me in the lobby, her expression unreadable. "They're all here," she says quietly. The full board, HR, legal counsel, and Marcus. Does he know I'm coming?
No.
She almost smiles. That's the point. We take the elevator to the conference room. My heels click on marble floors that suddenly feel like a stage.
The door opens.
8 people around a table. Marcus at the far end wearing his power suit, that confident posture I know so well. He sees me and goes absolutely white. Beside him, because of course she's here, is Jasmine wearing business casual, like she belongs in this room, like she has any right to be in a meeting about his professional conduct. The HR director, Patricia Chen, stands at the head of the table. "Miss Bennett," she says formally, "thank you for coming. Please sit." I take the empty chair directly across from Marcus. Our eyes meet. He looks away first. Patricia begins without preamble. "We're here to address serious allegations regarding Mr. Dawson's conduct, both personal and professional, that may constitute violations of company ethics policy." Marcus leans forward, all smooth confidence. "Patricia, I think there's been a misunderstanding, Mr. Dawson." Her voice cuts like steel. "You'll have time to speak. Right now, we're going to review the evidence." She nods to someone at